All right, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to my video. It's been a little while. I've been very busy working on Italian foods, working at a nice Italian restaurant, doing some very serious Italian meals, and I wanted to talk about it. I haven't made a video in a little while, and well, I wanted to make one every day, but when you start working, you gotta work. That's all there is to it, right? So I have some time off. It's a beautiful hot summer day, and I'm sitting here with my fan. And some of the things that I've been working on. So I am still making my own wonderful dishes, but there are dishes that you're going to find in pretty much every Italian restaurant. And as a new chef out there, you're going to need to know something like chicken parmesan. Chicken parmesan, I've seen it made a couple different ways. Some people, they'll deep fry the chicken parm. Now, I don't like this way, especially if you don't change the oil too often in the deep fryer. Now, there's a restaurant in Little Italy that uses a deep fryer, and then there's a restaurant on one main street that uses a deep fryer. And then you have a real Italian restaurant. Now, there's another place, and it's hidden off the side of the road, but this place has been open a very long time. And they know how to make chicken parmesan. Well, when you're making your chicken, right, you want flour, egg wash, you want breadcrumb, panko or panko, right? That's what it's called. And you're going to want to fry it, a quarter way in a frying pan. And then you're going to let it sit somewhere with a whole bunch of others done the same way. And you get them ready for service. The other way with the deep fryer, I don't like it. I'm not being picky. I mean, when you think about it, when you're setting them for service, okay, and you put them in a frying pan for about a quarter cooked, and you set them aside for service. The next step, when somebody orders a chicken parm, is you're going to put it in a pie plate, put a little sauce down, you're going to put your chicken parm down, you're going to put a little more sauce on top, that's tomato sauce, and then you're going to put some mozzarella cheese and then a little bit of parm on top of that, and then you're going to stick it in the oven. Now that's how you're going to make your chicken parm. You're not going to take your chicken parm, stick it in the deep fryer for 25 minutes, for 15 to 20 minutes. All depending. I've seen some big chicken parms this big, I mean, you don't need a big chicken parm like this. Chicken parm often comes with a pasta and sauce. Some people, I don't know what they're doing, I don't even know if they make any money. What kind of chicken parm? What kind of chicken is in there? When you're buying it and you're getting it this big, I mean, is it really good chicken, or is it crappy chicken? Like, where are you getting it? It's some kind of wholesale stock? When you see a big chicken parm like that on your plate, and the price of the meal is, around $17, $18, you got to ask yourself, is this chicken parm, did you buy it wholesale, or did you buy it, you get 50 for $25 or something like that, some kind of price chopper, you know, some kind of grocery store that sells in bulk. You get a chicken parm, it shouldn't be all that big. You need chicken parm just about this big, and it comes with your pasta. It's going to be, $25, $30, whatever, but it's going to be good chicken. It's not going to be overcooked either. You stick it in the oven. Stick it in the deep fryer. The same thing with veal marsala, veal parm. Veal marsala, it's made a little bit different. You're not going to use the egg wash. You're just going to use the flour. In both circumstances, you're going to pound the meat, right, in your cellophane. So you're gonna slice off, butterfly your chicken, or slice off a piece of veal, right, into the nice little cutlet, and then you're going to put it on some cellophane. You're going to close it together, and you're going to use your meat pounder. You know what a meat pounder is, right? That metal thing. I just bought one the other day. Let me show you what it looks like. If you're not sure what a meat pounder is, dang, it's here in the back. Crap. I got too much crap back here. It's in the back there. Anyways, it's a piece of metal. It's long, and it looks like a hammer. It's got two ends like this. It's flat, right? Got little spikes coming out of it. Anyway, you're gonna put your slice of meat down on cellophane. You close it up, put the cellophane over top, and you just pound it, right? You're gonna take that, and you're gonna dip it in some flour. It's got a little salt and pepper in it, and maybe a little bit of herbs in it. All right, in the flour, and then you're gonna butter your frying pan. You're gonna throw it in the frying pan like that. You gotta use butter. Masala, it required butter. Masala has got mushrooms. You hear masala? Chicken masala, veal masala? You think mushrooms right away. Mushrooms go in there right away. Got your butter, got your mushrooms. What's that about shallots? So I got something that have to do with shallots in my head here? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Anyways, there's mushrooms in it. And you're going to put your masala, about a 3/4 cup masala, half a cup masala. It all depends. You're making two. You can put about half a cup. You can use a big frying pan if you're going to make like 6 at one time. That's 1, 2, 3 orders. It's 2 per order. So you're going to use a big frying pan. You're going to make 6 at one time. It's going to be a veal masala and something. And veg, I guess. I don't know. Veg is usually, broccoli and carrot. This one place, they always run out of stuff, so I end up using peppers and mushrooms and just about anything I can find. Carrots are usually, diamond up like that, crisscross. What I usually do, if you run out of carrots or broccoli or something like that, you just that big pot that you usually put pasta in, right? Pasta's already pre-cooked. All right, that's pre-done. So you're going to put that in a container, and then just take it by the bowlful. You have a bowl here. You grab some, you put it in the bowl, and that's how you measure the serving, right? You take that and you put it in the triangle that's in the pot of boiling water, and that's goes in there for 30 seconds, right? And then you mix with your sauce in the pan. When it's done, you put it into the pan like that. Well, you take your vegetables. All right, if you got a veggie side dish, if you run out of vegetables, all right, you throw them in there, and in 10 minutes they're soft, just like that. Once they're soft, you can do anything with them. You saute them for a few minutes in butter, add it to the dish. But yeah, so that's talking about the chicken parm. You got the veal parm, veal masala, chicken masala, and these are Italian dishes. Um, Tomato salad. Oh, tomato salad. One of my favorites. Big Mott's cheese. You got Mott's cheese balls like this that you cut with your knife, right? And you're gonna put Mott's, right? You're gonna put a little bit of the salt on it. It's not kosher salt, but it's another high grade salt, right? You're gonna put that on top of it with little granulated pepper on top of that. And then you're gonna put a little balsamic vinaigrette on it like that. And then maybe a little bit of oregano, basil. Yeah. Anybody know what that salad's called? A tomato salad? I think it starts with a C. Capri, I think, or something like that, right? I'm a Frenchman, so anyways, another thing that we have, is an antipasto. And antipasto is like you got different kinds of meats on it, on a plate. And you gotta know the meats, all right? Prosciutto. Prosciutto is a meat. It's an Italian meat, and it comes in a brick like this, a brick, and you put it into the meat slicer, all right? The fat side up, okay? Fat side up, always fat side up. And you're gonna put it through the meat slicer like that, 1, 2, but you're gonna do one, and you're gonna catch it with your left hand, and you're gonna wrap it around your fingers here. And you want the fat side, you'll see a line of fat on the meat, up. All right, so it's going to wrap around your fingers, wrap around these two fingers kind of, and you're going to hold it like that. And you're going to set it on the plate like that, and then lift up out. And the prosciutto will look like a little bit of a rose on the plate like that. It's very pretty. A very nice Italian meat. You're supposed to slice it really, really thin. All right, so make sure it's not too thick when you turn the little knob, okay, to like the 0.5 kind of thing, and you slice it real thin. Don't press too hard. There's Copa. Copa's another meat. Copacabana, hey, Copacabana. So that's how you remember Copa, and it goes on the antipasto plate, and it's very nice. Okay. So what else? Oh, you gotta know your language. Ammonare, to clean. Grazie, thank you. Por favor, please. Aiuto, aiuto. Help. Si, yes. O means no. Yeah. I learned my way in an Italian kitchen, that's for sure. There's other things, rack of lamb when you cook it, bone side up. Always put bone side up to start it. And you got to know how to cut your herbs. So like the basil, you got to be delicate with basil, because if you're too rough with it, it'll bruise really easily. And you want to cut it in little squares. So you're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably 15 or 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're cutting it, with your knife, and then you turn it so you want squares. Okay, and you don't want to be too rough with it, because it'll bruise. And if it bruises, what happens is that you lose it faster. It'll go brown on you. By the next day, it'll be brown. By the end of service, it'll be brown, and you cut up two things of it, and you still got lots left over. Now, brown's okay for the guy doing the pasta on the stove over there, but if you want to make a tomato salad, you want to put some nice basil, you want it green. You want to be nice to it. Doucement, easy with that one. Now, what is the other one? Chive, right? So chive, you can look chive up on how to cut chive on YouTube, and you're going to notice that they take a chunk of it, like they take a bunch of it like this, all right, and then they go, and the little pieces are like that big, little tiny pieces like that. And now on YouTube, when I first saw it a couple years ago, they took like a bunch of 15 or 20 of them, not very many, all right, but you can actually do a bunch of 50 of them or 60 of them, all like that, and just go, and you're going to get the same effect. You don't have to put a little piece of tissue paper around it to make sure that it's just perfect. One time I took a pair of scissors to basil, and the chef was just laughing at me. No, not like that. This is when I first started, right? A little embarrassing, but so anyways, what else could we do? We could do a seafood thing. All right, so we got it's usually measured out, so you'll have like 3 shrimp, 3 scallops, you'll have like 5 mussels. You can put more mussels, right? And 5 clams. All right, so scallops and shrimp, they're a little more expensive, so you don't put 3 of each, but you can put 5 mussels and 5 clams. All right, this is a dish that we did, and it's served in a rosé sauce. So the rosé sauce is, in some places they use the bechamel, right, with the tomato sauce. They put the tomato sauce and then the bechamel. So you can do that in some places, and then you mix it up and you got a rosé. It's very nice. Some people make the rosé, although I don't really like made rosé that way, because it's very liquidy. You don't want too liquidy, because you're trying to reduce it, right, into a thickness. So and this would probably be with linguine or something like that, right? And so you're gonna take your linguine, you're gonna put it in the bowl, remember, and then that's how you measure one portion. You're gonna throw it in the triangle that's in the big pot of boiling water. You're gonna wait 20 seconds, and then you're gonna put it in the pan with the rosé and the mussels, scallops, shrimps, and then you're gonna mix it up like this. Let it reduce for a few minutes, and you stick it in a bowl-like plate, right? And that's a nice shrimp dish. And let's see, you have a lot of places have linguine and clams. All right, so clam sauce is really easy. It's white wine. Okay, so you're going to use white wine. You're going to use butter. You're going to use some parsley, right? You're going to put a decent amount of butter in there, and you want a sauce. And then you're going to put your clams in there, and wait a couple minutes. 3 to 5 minutes. I think like I go 4 minutes, and then you're gonna take your linguine, measure it out, put it in there, and then mix it with the pan and bang, and then you got linguine clams, olio evo or something like that, with olive oil and butter and white wine. It's very nice. So let's see. There's no stock in that. Um, yeah, the masala has stock. Did I mention that? All right. So it's not just masala. All right. So before, I think I forgot to tell you that you got to put stock in there too, right? Oh, let's rewind the tape. No, we can't do that. So you're making your veal masala, right? Whatever chicken masala. You got your veal. You got your mushrooms. It's pounded veal in flour with spices, salt and pepper, whatever, and yeah, and butter, and saute it with the mushrooms, and then your masala was about half a cup, 3/4 cup, and you reduce that. It's like a wine, right? So you got to reduce it for a minute or two, right? That reduces, and then you're going to put some veal stock or some kind of stock in there, some special stock, and that's going to reduce again also, and that'll be very nice when that comes out. Now, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. You got scallopini, you got piccata. Piccata is made with lemons. All you got to do is remember piccata, lemons, capers. One of the few things. Usually capers goes with anything that's seafood, right? But piccata gets capers quite often, unless the head chef or whatever doesn't want to buy the capers. I've gotten that a few times, and I think it's silly that you should have something on the menu yet you don't want to buy it, so we're not going to put it out for people. Anyways, that's my own thoughts. It doesn't matter. Moving on to something else. Let's see what else. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. Okay, bruschetta. All right. So you some people they cut up tomatoes for bruschetta, and they put a little salt and pepper. I mean, that's not bruschetta. Bruschetta. What makes bruschetta is the extra virgin olive oil. All right. I mean, so you got your bread. It's like French bread or something like that, right? You're cutting it into pieces like that. Okay. And you make a bruschetta. So I mean, there's a recipe for the thing. It's made with capers, chopped capers. It's made with basil. It's made with salt and pepper. It's made with extra virgin olive oil. It's made with, all these things. It's not just tomato, salt, and pepper. And you got to have olive oil, for goodness sakes. All right. See me shaking the table like, oh my God, somebody didn't do it and drove me nuts. Some people don't do things. Like I work as a personal chef too, I mean, so I see a lot of mistakes in the world. I mean, there are mistakes on menus, and there are mistakes with other chefs that people skip ingredients so that they don't have to buy it to save themselves some money. But no, I mean, look, if you want a bruschetta, you got to have extra virgin olive oil. Okay, it's got to have some taste. You got to have the capers in there. You got to have this. You got to have that. Let me see I'm gonna look on my phone here, and I have the recipe. I have a recipe which is really good, and zucchini, seafood sauce, Caesar dressing. No, that's not it. Those are things you should know. Oh, that's really nice. Okay. A little further. Oh, I think I found it. Where is it? shrimp, haddock, coconut shrimp, beef wrap, pasta special, rice something, au jour. I could have erased it so that I could make more room. I don't know. What did I do here? Come on. Where are you? I'll find it. Give me a second. Bruschetta, bruschetta, bruschetta. Maybe I missed it. There's so much stuff in here. There it is. It's like my 7th picture in. So you're talking basil, salt and pepper, garlic, minced garlic, sliced capers, diced tomatoes, extra virgin olive oil, and then 1 liter containers so that you can store it. And when you store it, you have to cover it in extra virgin olive oil when you store it. So you're pouring the extra virgin olive oil in the 1 liter containers. So I mean, if you think this recipe, okay, so if you have 2 liters of cut tomatoes, all right, those plastic containers are about this big. They got a lid on it that holds 1 liter exactly. Okay, so you have 2 liters of cut tomatoes. All right, they're going to take those. Once you're done cutting them, you're going to put them in a big steel bowl. Okay, you're going to pour them in the big steel bowl. You're going to add 30 grams of fresh basil. Remember how I told you to cut the basil? All right, and you be nice to that basil, otherwise it'll darken. All right, maybe it doesn't matter so much with the bruschetta, but if there's anything left over, I mean, you're going to want to use it for your tomato salad, or for something else. You give the bruised stuff, the brown stuff, to the chef, and he'll use it for anything that requires it in the saute department. Okay, so you're going to take for 2 liters of tomato, you're going to take about 30 grams of basil. All right. We 30 grams worth of salt and pepper. Now that's a give and take thing. Okay. So don't put too much at first. All right. Because you're going to want to taste it. You're supposed to have a spoon here. All right. I don't have it with me right now. It's there. Can you see it behind me hanging up on my spoon rack? That's where I only have 1 spoon there right now. So I was washing them, so I haven't got back to it. They're sitting under the sink ready to be washed, and like, so it's by itself. Anyways, you want about 2 tablespoons of garlic minced. Again, chop, chop, chop your garlic minced, and about a cup of capers. All right, about a cup of capers. So I could take a handful of capers, right, out of the caper thing, right, and stick them on a cutting board. Chop, chop, chop the capers. You gotta chop capers. You didn't know that, did you? You gotta chop capers, and you mix it all together, and you put some extra virgin olive oil in it, and you stir it. Okay. Now it doesn't necessarily matter how much extra virgin olive oil. Just don't drown it too much. Like, don't drown it. All right. You got to put a bunch of extra virgin olive oil in there, but it doesn't need to be drowned. All right, we're going to drown it when we put it away in the 1 liter containers. You take your spoon, once after you mix it up, take your spoon and you taste it. You ask yourself, does it taste good? It should have a salty taste to the tomatoes, tomato salt. They go hand in hand, right? You have a piece of tomato, you eat it, you put some salt on it and take a bite, and that's the way you have a tomato, right? I don't know. That's the way I have a tomato. That's your bruschetta. Bruschetta is not bruschetta without extra virgin olive oil. Some people like bruschetta with mozzarella cheese on it. They'll say in the chit will come up and it says, I'll have bruschetta with cheese. Bruschetta with cheese, that's bruschetta with mozzarella cheese. It goes on the plate, it goes in the oven. You let it go in the oven. You want to lift it up too in the oven. You're going to have this big pizza oven looking thing, right? So you want to take like a metal to go. I don't have one around here. A metal to go container, okay? And you put it upside down like this. And the bruschetta is going to be on a pizza pan, okay? Or on a pie plate, something like that. And you put a couple of pieces. And then you use a spoon and you spoon it out of the 1 liter containers, all that extra virgin olive oil, all that tomato and beautiful spice and garlic, minced garlic and everything. You put that down on that, and you just, like 2 of them there, and it's fucking beautiful, and it's lifted up, and the pie plate sits on top like that, and you put it in. It only takes a couple, 5-8 minutes, something like that. It's about the same thing for like garlic bread with cheese. Now, people don't often have a bruschetta with mozzarella cheese on it, but you'll hear more with garlic bread with cheese. So a lot of times it'll just be garlic bread. So the waiter will come up and he'll hand you the bread. All right. And the bread, you'll spread the garlic butter on the bread, put it on the pie plate. All right. And you add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Ugh. I don't always remember everything, right? So it's been a little while since I did that Italian place. But I've been doing breakfast. I'm going to get into breakfast in the second half of this. It's already 32 minutes, but there's still a bit to talk about. So the second half won't be probably 30 minutes, probably more like 15, but we'll just finish up with this here. And it only takes a couple minutes in the oven too, right? So when you're taking it out, okay, you got your tongs, you grab it with your tongs, and you got this hand, it's got a towel on it. In this hand, you always got a towel in your left hand, okay? So you grab with the towel, you grab the pie plate off of the tongs, like this. Now you got your tongs here, the pie plate's here with your towel right there, okay? And then you're going to go over to the plate. All right, you're going to take the tongs, you're holding it still, you're going to take the tongs and you're going to grab the bruschetta, or you're going to grab the garlic bread, and you're going to put it on the plate just like that. Actually, the garlic bread, it'll go in a basket most of the time. It goes in a basket. I mean, one place I was at, they put it on a plate. That was the same place that they did the chicken parm in the deep fryer. I won't mention any names, and he doesn't know I put these live videos on YouTube, so he'll never know. I just don't think a chicken parm belongs in a deep fryer, okay? I mean, you want a nice chicken parm. It's not going to be this big, and it's going to be cooked in an oven. It's going to be served with something nice, with spaghetti or something with Bolognese sauce. Oh, I made Bolognese sauce, with Italian hot sausage. So I took the sausage juices, the juices from the sausage, I fried the sausages in a frying pan, and then I popped them, and all the juice came spluttering out, right? And I took that juice and I put it in a Bolognese sauce, right? So you have the Espagnole sauce, all right, and instead of the bacon fat, I used the juices of the Italian hot sausage, and oh my God, it was absolutely beautiful. I think I was talking about that in one of my first videos I made a few months back, several months ago. I don't remember, but my goodness, it was amazing. So, okay, I'm going off topic here. Start talking about stuff. Where were we? We were talking about bruschetta and then garlic bread. And, oh, there's those little fishies. What do you call those little fishies? They are, little fishies are somethings. Fishies, prishies, salmon, basil, prosciutto. Oh my goodness. Shallots, syrups. Anyways, there's some little fishies that people have, and they are dipped in flour with salt and pepper, and then they go in the deep fryer. And it's the same sort of appetizer as, that you can have, like zucchini is an appetizer. Shrimp, shallop, shada. What's it called? Fish, salmon. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what it's called. Smelts. It's called a smelt. So the smelts is another kind of appetizer that they serve at Italian restaurants, and it's very simple. All right, they come in a box, right? It goes into the freezer, and the box is wrapped in a plastic something inside, and to keep them fresh. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a handful, you're gonna stick them in a 1 liter container, and you're gonna keep them in the fridge, and you're gonna make 2 or 3 containers, and that'll be ready for service. All right. So when service begins, you're going to have a bowl of flour with salt and pepper in it. All right. And that'll be ready for service. You're also going to have another bowl special for the calamari. All right. And then you'll have zucchini, and that'll be prepped already. It'll be dipped in egg wash and flour and panko, and set aside in a tub, right? And that'll be ready for service. Always keep that covered, and you put it in the fridge. And you'll have your types of salads for the lettuce, prepped and ready, or your spring salad. It's got like different kinds of lettuce in it, and then your romaine, and whatever kind of salad you make there, wherever you go. So let's see. You're going to have manicotti and cannellini prepped. Manicotti is made with a rosé. It usually comes in a serving of 2 pieces. All right. And I think it's mostly cheeses in it. Cannelloni has got spinach in it and cheese. It's the 2 very nice things. Cannelloni's got a bechamel. You put bechamel on it. So you got tomato sauce. You put your cannelloni in the pie plate, tomato sauce, cannelloni, and bechamel sauce on top. And I think it takes the mozzarella cheese, and that goes in the oven. The manicotti is tomato sauce, 2 manicottis, comes in 2. All right, cannellini is 4 for a full serving, but manicottis are big; they're pretty big like that, so it's only 2. So tomato sauce, 2 manicottis. You take a little cream, big cream. You pour it on top. Not too much, just enough to turn it into a rosé. Add some cheese on top. Throw it in the oven. Now, those 2 things take a little while to cook, so you can put that in the oven in the back there somewhere. As long as you can reach it, you're fine. Potatoes are really easy. Little round potatoes. Some places will spice up the potatoes. This one place I was working for had a whole bunch of Indians working there and Arabs, and they made the potatoes with curry and all these weird sauces. I mean, that's not Italian. What are you doing? But the real Italian way. All right, you want the paprika, you want oregano. Is it oregano? It's a mixture of spices. I think it's oregano. Anyways, a little salt and pepper on it. And you want to put oil on it, okay? And you put oil in the pie plate too. Turn them upside down, and that's the way you make them. You make it nice. And curry, I don't know. Oh man, if you only knew what you were going to eat when you go out to eat. So, okay. I'm going to stop it there with the Italian stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about breakfasts because I've been doing breakfasts for a while. So breakfasts come in different things. Now, making notes on these little cue cards here is a great idea. You can stuff them in the pocket of your apron. If you're ever stuck and you're not sure about something, all you got to do is look it up. All right, and I've done this for several places over time, and it's a very good idea. See, this is one place, and then I have when I was first learning veal piccata, scallopini. This was another place, linguine pescatori, Stella, gnocchi, primavera, linguine alfredo. Very easy one to do, but you never done it before. This is a couple years old now. Marsala, shrimp and chicken with alfredo. These were nice little thingies right here. Carbonara. Carbonara is very easily. You take a little bit of oil. You put some bacon in there, onions in there. What else was that? Garlic. All right. Some people just take some garlic butter. All right. And there's your onions and your garlic right there, right? And you throw in some bacon, and then you throw in your cream, right? And the carbonara, the Italian carbonara, takes an egg yolk, actually, not the yellow of the egg, not the white of the egg. All right. So what you're doing after you got the cream in there, and you let it reduce a little bit, and it's nice and thickening there, then you're going to add your linguine to it, okay, and mix it up nicely. And then you're going to take your egg like this until you just got the yolk, and you're going to put the yolk right in the middle there, and you're going to take it off the heat, all right, because you don't want it to cook too hard, and you're going to stir it like that with your tongs and make it nice. It'll yellow up a little bit, and then you're going to take your sliced Parmesan. It's like little slices like that. I mean, you can take the powdered Parmesan too, whatever. You put enough in there, right? And then mix it up some more, and then just let it sit for a little while, and it'll kind of it'll thicken. You don't want it too thick. You don't want to give somebody a carbonara on their plate where it's so thick that they got to chop it with their fork. That's too much. Okay. So you want to put enough cream in there so that it's tasty, and that's pretty much it. The piccata had the lemon juice, stock, capers, parsley, and then a sliced lemon made with butter, shallots, garlic, wine. It's very nice. Veal scallopini has mushrooms, veal, wine, salt, peppers, parsley, stock, veal stock, right? And veal scallopini gets egg wash, but the other one doesn't. Only the scallopini gets egg wash. All right. So when you're prepping the veal, you're going to have the egg wash and the flour and the flour, egg wash, and then the panko, right? So anyways, that's another one. Linguine with clam sauce. I was learning that one. I got these are full. When I first started, I started at one place and it closed down because of pest problem. Well, I had to learn all theirs too. So there's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fish and chips, how to make batter. This one is from a Creole place. So they make Creole food. Very nice stuff too. Tuna tataki, shrimp ceviche, rack of lamb, grilled lobster. Oh, beautiful stuff. Oh, I worked at a strip joint. No, they had good food there. Don't get me wrong. Good food. Soup of the day. They had pierogies, nachos, tacos, munchie platters, salads, garden salad, Caesar, Greeks, burgers. Lovely stuff. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. It's a great idea, all right, to make yourself this. When you first start off at a new place, and it'll make you a better chef over time. You don't forget. You always remember. I mean, a lot of seafood gets capers. You're gonna make salmon. Often comes with capers. This last place I was at, he made salmon on lemon with a white wine and a dash of bechamel. They put a little bit of water in there too with lemon juice. Stick it in the oven, and it was baked. The one thing I didn't like about this place is that their menu was never what was available, So it was always changing because he had a hard time coming up with ingredients. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know. Some restaurants just barely make it, Back to breakfasts. There's all sorts of breakfasts out there. Omelets, Canadian, Texan, veggie, Mediterranean, California, smoked meat. Omelets usually come with beans or potatoes. Toast. Omelets come with toast, right? White or whole wheat. It's breakfast. So breakfast usually consists of, you can have a breakfast sandwich, which is usually a Western. Remember, like a Western omelet, a Western style sandwich, it goes on the big bread, right? They got grilled cheese. There's always a health bowl. Always a health bowl. I mean, almost every restaurant I've been at, there is a health bowl. Edamame is in it. Some kind of oats, chia seed, different, fruits. You're going to get avocados. You're going to get all sorts of things. And it often comes with your choice of potatoes or beans. You have different size appetites. A lot of places have waffles and eggs and waffles, right? Eggs and poutine, eggs and steak. You're going to find that out. Eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, eggs, different types of ham, Black Forest ham. And then, of course, the old Eggs Benedict, where there will always be an English muffin. And since there's an English muffin, there's not going to be white or brown toast, right? Because you already got bread. But if you got 2 eggs, bacon, and half a waffle, odds are you're going to need bread, right? On this specific one, again, the menu was off. There was like 5 different things just on the breakfast menu that didn't make sense. Like grilled potatoes. All right. Are they grilled potatoes or are they griddled potatoes, right? Because a griddle is a flat top. A grill is got the bars, right? So like when you're making chicken or steak, so you get that diamond effect by turning it clockwise or counterclockwise a couple degrees, right? And that's how you get the diamond marks. So, I mean, are the potatoes grilled or are they griddled, right? Are they cut up and put in the deep fryer? Right? So when you're looking at the menu and it says that there are grilled, all right, what are you thinking? Are you thinking slices of potatoes grilled to make diamond marks? Would you do that? When you have somebody that doesn't speak English very well and they decide that they're going to be the ones that make the menu, it just makes you want to, put a nail in your head or something, screw it in there, like just put some pressure because they're doing it wrong. And why did the owner have him or her make the darn thing if they didn't know their English well enough? I think it's because they took the course. Because when you graduate with your culinary degree, you've done menu studies, right? Management. So you should be capable of doing a proper menu. But 80% of the restaurants I've been at don't make a proper menu. And I remember my professor telling me that. I had a great professor at college. She was just awesome. One of the things she liked the most in life was looking at other people's menus. She'd always get a chuckle. I mean, what are you doing here? And these people made at least 5 mistakes on their breakfast menu, but that's okay. So, I mean, those are the type of things that you got to look out for when you're doing breakfast. Also, breakfast, you're going to be working in the morning. So, if you do a typical dining, then you're going to be working from 2 until 11, 10:30, 11 o'clock. And that'll be normal for your cook shift. So, I mean, if you do that for a couple of years and then you decide to go to breakfast, it's not going to be easy to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not easy just to switch over like that. And just a little heads up, okay? If you're just thinking of deciding to switch to breakfasts because you're getting tired of dinners, it's nice. You get to be home for the 5 o'clock news, but there is the downside of having to get up at 5 or 4 o'clock in the morning so that you are at the restaurant for 6 for breakfast. So, along with all this stuff, you're going to have a prep list. Got to make sure that you have your prep list. So this is a prep list that I've done. I like my little clipboard. I bought it at the dollar store. So I'll go through the menu and I'll look at all the different things that are in the orders, like for an omelet. All right, if I'm looking at a Texan omelet, I'm gonna need goat cheese and salsa and guacamole, right? So I know that I'm going to need to prep those things. So you need them prepped in your station, and then you need a backup. All right, so you're prepping double. Everything's prepped double. All right. When you got to make sure that you got potatoes. Make sure you got cut potatoes downstairs, cut fries downstairs for poutines and stuff like that. All right. Always be ahead of things. You're not going to be a commie chef forever. Sooner or later, you're going to move up in the world. And by listening to this video, you can be better than the average person. And that's why I'm making these videos, so that you can be better than the average person. So if you end up having to be the one to make the menus, you're not going to make a stupid mistake like calling something grilled potatoes when you know darn well they're made on a griddle or in a deep fryer, right? That's about it. This is Chef Dan saying thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and leave me a little message, and I'll do my best to answer any questions. I hope the very best in your success, and you never know, we might bump into one another one day. Let me know if you remember me. Farewell, merci beaucoup, and end stream.